Our first guest on this post-debate program is a two-time candidate for president, a senator from the great state of Vermont, and the only guy over 70 who has Cardi B's number in his cell phone. Here to share his wise and learned perspective on what we saw tonight in Cleveland, please welcome Senator Bernie Sanders. Hello, Senator.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm okay. Senator Sanders, be honest, how many times did you yell at your television tonight watching the debate?
Many.
Many times, yeah. I would love to watch it with you and to see what your reactions are.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. No.
You were a subject early on in the debate. They talked about it.
I heard that.
Did you feel that Joe Biden was distancing himself from you in some ways?
Look, you know, I've been in a number of debates in my life, and taking on Trump, who is a bully, who is a liar, who doesn't even respect the rules of the debate, is very, very difficult. But I think Biden made a number of very, very important points tonight, while Trump continues to lie in an incredible way.
How often do you speak to Joe Biden?
Every now and then. Joe and I have known each other for a long time. I'm working as hard as I can to see that he gets elected. We have held a number of virtual rallies. I'll probably be hitting the road fairly soon for him. And I happen to think, and I think people saw this tonight, that in Donald Trump, we have the most dangerous president in the history of this country. Somebody who not only lies all of the time, Jimmy, but really doesn't believe in science. And I think you saw that tonight. Despite what he was saying about how wonderful and great the United States is doing in terms of the coronavirus pandemic, truth is we have the highest death rate in terms of that virus per capita of almost any country on earth. We have no national policy. We have a president who continues to reject science. That's true for the coronavirus. That is true for climate change as well. And what we need, and I think Biden will give us, is a government that at least listens to science and develops legislation based on science, not somebody who rejects science or makes fun of scientists.
It did seem like Joe was also, it seemed like he was trying to distance himself from the new Green Deal. Is that just politics that he's playing, or do you think...
Well, look, Jimmy, his views are different than mine. I happen to believe in the Green New Deal. Joe's views are different. But the truth is, A, he understands that climate change is an existential threat to the planet, and B, the point that he made tonight is right. Whether you agree with the Green New Deal or you take another approach, he has another approach. He is prepared to invest trillions of dollars in transforming our energy system away from fossil fuel to energy efficiency and sustainable energy. And when you do that, you can lead the world in moving away from fossil fuels, save the planet for our kids and grandchildren, and also create millions and millions of good-paying jobs. Think about the jobs that we can create as we weatherize homes and buildings all over America, as we move to a more green transportation system, changes in agriculture, investments in solar, wind, and other sustainable energy. Biden is absolutely right, and Trump is wrong. In terms of job creation, going in the direction of combating climate change and investing in sustainable energy, that is the economic smart thing to do.
Do you think these televised debates are constructive?
I'll tell you something. You know, if you stop and you think about it, I don't think tonight was a great night for America, and I think I was probably not the only person yelling at the TV. You know, if you stop and you think, Jimmy, and you say, all right, look, let's calmly talk about what are the real issues facing the American people. We have 90 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured. We spend far more per capita on healthcare than the people of any other country. And we are the only major nation on earth not to guarantee healthcare to all people as a human right. That's a real problem.
Trump keeps saying that he is going to take care of people with pre-existing conditions.
That's a lie.
And
that's an absolute lie.
We know it's a lie. It is a lie. Of course, it's a lie. But and of course, Trump will, one way or the other, we won't see him again after 4 years. What about the senators and the representatives who go along with this? Do they think that we're going to forget about this in 2 years when there are millions of people who can't get health insurance anymore?
Well, Jimmy, I think you raise a very important point, and it's one thing to talk about Trump, but I will tell you what has really surprised me is the cowardice of my colleagues, Republican colleagues in the United States Congress, with very few exceptions, very few. They have allowed themselves to be intimidated by Donald Trump. And in terms of health care, the simple truth is, and Trump, I think, could not even deny it tonight, is he is now in the courts trying to end the Affordable Care Act, which will throw at least 20 million people off the health insurance that they now have. And he says tonight, we have a plan. He's been president for almost 4 years. Where is the plan other than throwing people off the health care they had and doing away with pre-existing conditions? And in terms of prescription drugs, of course, we pay by far the highest prices in the world for prescription drugs. Pharmaceutical industry is a bunch of crooks. But all that Trump has done is come up with some bogus executive orders that will do absolutely nothing. He does not have the guts to take on the pharmaceutical industry, something that if the Democrats gain control of the United States Senate, which I hope very much happens, I'm going to be chairman of the subcommittee on health. Trust me, we will take on those crooks in the pharmaceutical industry.
Speaking of cowardice, I mean, I don't know if anything surprises any of us anymore, but I wonder if you were surprised when specifically asked if he would denounce white supremacists, that the president dodged it and did not do that. I mean, I guess it's hard to be shocked anymore, but that was shocking to me. I felt like he just left that sentence uncompleted.
Look, and it doesn't give me, honestly, any pleasure to say this. You have a president who is, in fact, a racist, and he has been using race for a very, very long time in trying to divide the American people up. And he's not only a racist, he is a xenophobe. God knows the kinds of ugly attacks he has made on the Latino community. He is a religious bigot. And this is who we have as president of the United States right now. And that is why, people say, well, Bernie, why are you supporting Joe Biden? You disagree with him on health care. You disagree with him on that issue. And the answer is that it is absolutely imperative that we get rid of the most dangerous president in the history of the United States of America. This is a guy who continues to say he may not lose office. You want to be shocked, Jimmy? What about learning that you got a guy in office now who says, well, maybe I will lose the election. So what? That doesn't mean to say I'm going to leave office because, as you know, everything is fraudulent. If I lose, by definition, the election is rigged. Think about that. That's what he said tonight and what he has said on numerous occasions. And the American people have got to make it clear. And I say this to Republicans, I say this to independents, not just Democrats. If you believe in democracy, if you believe in the Constitution and in the rule of law, Trump has got to go because he does not believe in those things.
We'll be back with Senator Bernie Sanders. Okay, Senator Bernie Sanders is with us. Thank you again, Senator, for being here with us tonight. You've been in the Senate for how long now?
14 years.
Have you ever seen a more brazen display of hypocrisy than Lindsey Graham saying he will vote to confirm a Supreme Court nominee like 6 weeks before an election?
And this is after he told us, in front of the whole world, he said, I will never do that. Mark my words.
Use my tape against me, he said. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Look, the hypocrisy is extraordinary. And it is so sad because this is why the American people are losing faith in the political process. And, the problem with the Supreme Court nominee is not only what she will do after she gets on the bench, if she does, It is this entire process by which 4 days, we think, 4 days before the election, the Republicans hope to have a vote on getting her confirmed. So the American people in 4 days will be voting for a president who has the power to make those nominations, and they want to rush this thing through. It is an outrage, and the hypocrisy is extraordinary. And here's the point, and I think some of my colleagues have been making. I know a lot of people think, well, Supreme Court nomination, it's an abstraction. How real, how important is it? It is enormously important. There is little doubt in my mind that Judge Barrett will vote to rule that the Affordable Care Act is unconstitutional. That means 20 million people will lose their health care. If you are a woman who thinks you have the right to control your own body, which is, I certainly agree with that, that right may very well be threatened. If you're a worker who thinks you have certain rights on the job, those rights may well be taken away as well. So it's a big deal. Yeah. And it concerns me.
If the Democrats win the Senate, would you support adding more justices to tip the scales back?
Well, let me say this. Chuck Schumer, the Democratic leader, said all options are on the table, and I agree with him. But this is what I believe absolutely, Jimmy. I think at a time when so many people have lost faith in the political process, which is why Trump does as well as he does. People say, nobody really cares about me. Democrats don't care about me. Republicans don't care about me. Rich are getting richer. I'm getting poorer. My kid can't afford to go to college. I don't have any health care. I can't afford housing. Who cares about me? I'm just an average working stiff. If the Democrats do not come up with an agenda, and I'm going to work as hard as I can in the first 100 days, greatly expanding health care to make it clear that health care is a human right, not a privilege, raising that minimum wage to at least $15 an hour, making sure that women get equal pay for equal work, creating millions of jobs by dealing with climate change and transforming our energy system, making college available to all kids so that they don't have to leave school deeply in debt. If we cannot stand up for the working families of this country who are right now struggling so hard, people are trying to put food on the table, trying to feed their kids, trying to not get evicted from their homes. If we can't stand up for those people and take on the powerful special interest, then, the Democratic Party will have me to contend with.
Speaking of the special interests, Senator, I make a lot of money. I make millions of dollars. I pay about half of that in taxes. I don't understand how it's possible that Donald Trump gets away with paying $750 and less in taxes.
Well, there are two reasons, two possible reasons, Jimmy, both of which may end up being true. Number one, Trump lied a whole lot, and instead of being a successful businessman, he may have, in fact, lost substantial sums of money for many, many years. That's possibility number one. Possibility two, more likely, he is a tax cheat and ends up paying less in income tax than the average worker would be paying. Tonight, Trump denied the charge. The New York Times said that a detailed expose, paid $750 for the last 2 years. He said, no, I paid millions of dollars. Well, Mr. Trump, if you paid millions of dollars, you can help us all understand that. Release your tax returns.
Seems very simple, doesn't it? It really is very simple. Trump.
But by the way,
Trump said
bottom line here is the tax system is totally corrupt. You got major corporation after major corporation paying virtually nothing or nothing in taxes. And that has got to be changed as well. And
they call you a socialist, yes? I mean, it's, So what do you say to, I see online people who supported you for president who say, I'm not going to vote for Joe Biden. He's not going to do the things that I want him to do. I'm going to write in or vote for a third party or not vote at all. What do you say to those people?
Jimmy, I would say that that is a very, very serious mistake. Being political and thinking about things politically, you have to be tactical. And it's not saying, oh, I disagree with Biden, I'm not voting for him. Please understand that the very essence of American democracy is at stake in this election. The future of the planet is at stake with a president who rejects science with regard to climate change. The racial divisions in this country will only grow wider with a president who is a racist. And to those people who say that, let me just say this. I'm in the United States Senate, and here's my promise to you. Remember, the president, at least Biden, will not be a dictator. We in the Senate and the House, we're going to develop legislation. And if I have anything to say about it, we're going to bring forth the most progressive legislation, standing up for working people, standing up for the young people, standing up for senior citizens, for our environment, for criminal justice. We are going to bring forth sweeping reforms that I think will allow the American people to regain faith in our democracy.
One last question, Senator, if you will. Trump said he claimed he spent $70,000 on his hair. How much are you spending on your hair on an annual basis?
Clearly not enough, that's for sure.
Actually, I think now that everyone's got this COVID hair, all of a sudden yours doesn't look so nutty. Well, I thank you for your time, Senator. I thank you for everything you do. Senator Bernie Sanders. We'll be right back with Cal Penn. Thanks for watching. If you liked that video, click the subscribe button. And if you didn't like it, well, you hurt my feelings.